So I've spent over $40,000 on mindset coaching, whether that's programs, whether it's, one-on-one mentorship, whether it's masterminds. And what I want to do in this video is encapsulate every single thing that I've learned, what's actually important, what you need from it. Because, mindset's such a vague in the air term. Everyone's like, fix your mindset, you'll be successful. But what does that actually mean? So what I want to do in this video is break down what it actually means to improve your mindset, all of that stuff. And what I've learned in people making around 7, 8, even 9 figures every single year. And this is the exact, mindset hacks or things that I've learned that help me build 2 50K per month agencies. And what I'm using now to build a 7 to 8 figure consulting business where we help other agency owners to scale up rapidly, build their acquisition systems, scale them, automate their business, and just streamline everything. But most importantly, this is the exact system that I used to go from, complete zero, in high school, making no money at all, to being able to start the business, generate a ton of freedom, a ton of cash flow, and just be able to, honestly just buy anything, be anywhere, have unlimited freedom in your life. And I think that's the most important part. So the first point that I want to make is that the only function of mindset training is to change your beliefs. And the function of changing your beliefs is to change what you do every single day. So I actually first learned this from Sam Ovens. If you don't know Sam Ovens, he built a company to make 50 million per year, something like that. He's building school right now. And what I learned was that the things that we think, right, whether we like something or whether we don't like something, dictates whether we do something. So for example, if you like, let's say, speaking to people, if you like getting onto calls, if you like networking, you're most likely going to do more of that, right? The same way that if you don't like something, you're going to do less of that. So think of people who are, let's say, introverted. When I first started in business, I didn't want to talk to anyone. To be honest, right now, I still don't want to talk to that many people. I mean, unless you're a client or a friend or something. But when I was in business, I was extremely shy. To the point where I had anxiety. Just if I had a sales call, I would wake up on a Monday morning knowing that I had a call at 6 p.m. just in complete I wish this call just got canceled. So because of that, imagine you have crippling anxiety for a call. It's are you going to take more or less calls? Probably less. So if you can change the way that you think about something to enjoy the activity, then you're naturally just going to do more of it. So what I got recommended when I first started was to, and as weird as it sounds, visualize enjoying the task. So for most people, when you're first starting out, the thing that you're avoiding is the actual work. So you procrastinate, you watch Netflix, you watch YouTube, you do everything but the actual task, which is like sending outreach or taking sales calls. So what he recommends is that you visualize doing the thing well. Let's say working, enjoying your work, getting the outcome, winning, making sales. And if you can do this, you're training yourself to actually enjoy it more. And by doing this, you're going to take the action more. So this is how I got to the point where, because I just realized this the other day, I don't procrastinate. It's not even an option, right? It's just so absurd to me to even think to not work. The problem I have now is I work too much. I will literally work from the minute I wake up to the minute I sleep. So by doing this, you can change the way you do things. And this was from someone who used to play games like FIFA or like Call of Duty all day, from start to finish, dreading any sort of work, to being completely productive. So as we go through this, the next points, you're going to see how this fits into everything. But this is the overlying concept. If you change what you think, you're going to change what you do. And if you change what you do, you're going to get a different outcome, right? The next part of, any mindset training or any mindset coaching that you're going to do is goal setting, right? It's honestly very simple, right? Everyone knows you need to set goals, needs to be specific, needs to be clear. But most people, they're actually not very good at it. And it's honestly very simple. So the key thing with setting goals is to have a goal, literally. But you need it to be specific. So in my case, when I first started out, my first goal was, 10K a month. Very simple. It's the most cliche goal you could have. But it was 10K a month. So that's the baseline when it comes to goals. But the best people I know in the space, people who are making a lot of money, 7 figures per month, they go levels deeper. So, okay, 10,000 per month. So I'm in a service-based business, so I need clients. Okay, so if I want 10,000 and I'm charging 2K a month, it means I need 5 clients. Okay, so if my close rate is 20%, right? So I close 2 in every 10 people, 1 in every 5 people. It means that I need 25 calls to sign 5 clients, right? So by going into that level of detail, you can very simply and very strategically map out the next steps you need to take. So it's if I need 25 sales calls, it means I need to send this many messages to get this many calls, right? And then it's okay, now your daily actions is that you need to send, let's say 50 LinkedIn messages and you'll get 25 sales calls and then obviously sign the clients. That is the level of precision that you can have when setting goals. So now you have direction for every single action in your life that you'll take, right? This is the goal, 10K. Now, most people stop at just saying, I want to make 10K. And then they, post something on Instagram saying that they're going to make it, but then they don't actually do the next steps. And the next step is number 3, routine. So the next part about mindset training that people don't talk about unless you get into like super paid stuff is that you need to not only set the goal, the steps needed to get the goal, but also the routine of your entire life that allows you to take the step. Right? This is very, very, very important. So let's say, you need to send 50 messages every day, but you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do, check your phone, you have to go to gym straight after, you have some commitment, you have to go to school, and you never actually get the time to actually do the thing, right? Which is the 50 messages. So the function of a routine is to make every day consistent so that you can fill the day with things that move you towards the goal. So if I look at my routine, like every single night I sleep at 10 p.m., right? I try to be as consistent as humanly possible, and I'll make sure that I'm at the bed ready to sleep at 10. Then I wake up, without an alarm at around like 7-ish. And then from 7 to let's say 9, it's like getting ready. I go to gym. As soon as I come back, I work from 9 to around 12:30. So that's just deep work, no distractions, nothing. Phone's in another room, phone's on airplane mode, not eating, I'm fasted, drank my coffee, all of that. Then at around 12:30 to 1, I eat lunch, breakfast. Then from around 1 to let's say 5, I take sales calls. If I don't have sales calls, it's just work. From 5 to around 7, sales calls, or I just work. And then from like 7 to like 7:30 to 8, I eat dinner. And then from like around 8 to the 10 p.m, I'll be honest, most times I'm working, but that's meant to be like a wind down time. And then, I go to bed after that. So by having that set structure, all of those work blocks, whether it's sales calls, whether it's deep work, it allows me to move forward in these goals. And you need to have this time. And if you looked at my calendar, and I could put a screenshot up, it's literally mapped out in that way. Like every single thing in my life is scheduled. Like on the weekend, someone was looking at my calendar, they were like, bro, that is actually insane. Like you're actually psycho. Because literally every single part of the calendar is scheduled. There's no blank space. It's all just like step by step, this is what I'm gonna do. But by having this, it allows for you to tame all the chaos in the rest of your life. So like personal things, you're eating the same thing every day, you're wearing similar things every day. By removing the chaos and the complexity in other areas of life, you can essentially free up mental capacity for the chaos that's gonna happen in business. It's guaranteed. So what you want to do is you want to have a set routine. You're going to wake up this time, you're going to work at this time, you're going to sleep at this time. Simple. Now, step 4 of the entire encapsulation of mindset training is subtraction. So we have a goal. This is where we want to go. We have the steps needed to get to this goal. Now, the next thing we want to do is remove as much as possible from our lives that doesn't move us towards our goal. So let's say my goal is 10K a month. I know that I need to do certain things to get to this point. Then what I want to do is I want to remove things that move me back. So what I did when I was starting out, I ended high school. I went straight into, I didn't go to university. So I just started the business straight away. I took a gap year, after school. It's pretty much a year where you can pretty much do whatever. But I framed it in a way where it's like, I don't want to go to school because of like the disease, the virus thing. And I was like, I want to be safe. But in reality, I just wanted to work on my business. But regardless, so what I decided to do was I had a goal. But what I decided not to do was everything else. So I deleted Instagram. I threw away like any games, any PlayStation, any of that stuff. I didn't talk to any girls. I didn't talk to anyone. I just literally just stayed at home and worked all day, every single day. But because I had that empty space, that just empty time, I was able to make a ton of progress. So the people that I know who honestly have made the biggest amount of progress in their life, they actually have the simplest life. So if you think of someone like Sam Ovens, who built like a $50 million company, probably building like $1 billion company now. He doesn't do Instagram, like he doesn't do social media. He's not on LinkedIn. He's not on all this stuff. He's barely making YouTube videos. He literally just works on his product. Like that's it, right? He's not there like some Andrew Tate thing, buying like Bugattis or partying and all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you truly wanted to maximize the progress in one area of life, it's like, you just remove everything else, right? So if you think of someone like Kobe or someone like Michael Jordan, it's like, if they were here now, they probably wouldn't like be doing all these crazy things. They would just do the actual work, right? I remember I was watching like the Michael Jordan documentary, and he was talking about like everyone who was worse than him was doing like all these interviews and all these like commercials and all that stuff. And the ironic thing was that everyone wanted the interviews or the commercials or the ads or everything with Michael Jordan. But because he focused on the work, he didn't do it. But the ironic thing is that the only reason that people wanted it with him was because he did the work, ignored all the other stuff, so he became better. It's like the biggest names that you know, they're not the biggest names because they just did a ton of interviews. Like if you think of like Elon Musk, it's like he's not famous because he just did podcasts all day. He wasn't on like 1,000 episodes of stuff. He just built himself to become this person. He built these companies. He built the product, and then because people knew the product, because he had this reputation, then he just blew up online. Then he just became like famous essentially. So the point that I'm making is that if you're really looking to make a ton of progress, you need to remove as much as possible. And if you're just starting out, you don't need to worry about going on podcasts or building a personal brand that much. You don't need to do all that stuff, to be honest. Like, you literally just need to sell 5 people on a 2K a month service. Like, that is it. So a lot of people when they're starting out, they're trying to do a million things. They're trying to do Instagram, they're trying to do LinkedIn, they're trying to do Reels, they're trying to build a YouTube channel. If you just did one thing, you'd get the outcome. And the final point is around enjoying pain and building stress tolerance. Now, what I can guarantee is that if you have a goal, if you're working towards it, if you're subtracting everything and you're building a routine, it's going to be difficult, right? You're going to face a ton of pressure. You're going to face a ton of difficulty. You're going to be doing things you've never done before. And because of that, it's going to be very, very painful. So the remedy to this is to not have less pain. It's just get more comfortable with pain, right? And this is something that I've learned. And honestly, 99% of people don't think this way because it's so like weird to them. But you can get to the point where you actually enjoy the pain and the lessons that you get from it, because you know that if you get through this pain, if you get through this problem, like let's say you are, you're not making a lot of sales and you're converting at like 5% of sales. If you can just push through, train sales every single day, do an extra hour of work every single day, practice your objections, practice the line of question, do all of that, and you get your closing rate up to 20%, I mean, the impact on that is making tens or even hundreds of thousands more every single month. So by pushing through, you're going to get the outcome and you get the lesson as well. So you can teach this lesson to other people. So if something bad happens and your first response is, oh, I need to run away, oh, I need a break, oh, I'm going to burn out, then you're never going to progress as fast as someone who, when they encounter a problem, is like, great, like another one. Fair enough. Like, I've been waiting. So if you can adopt the idea of you like problems, you like to solve problems, you're the type of person that solves problems, and then understand the idea of the more you do it, the more your tolerance grows. So the more you're able to do it and handle every single day, then you literally can't lose, because you'll understand that every problem makes you better, and that because of that, you want problems because you get better faster. So this is the ideal situation, right? And this is something I love to emphasize to the clients in my one-on-one program now, is that you're getting better because of the problem. So actively look for them, right? Try to solve them as fast as humanly possible, and you'll get the benefits faster than anyone else. So if you want more information on what it would look like to work with me in helping you actually, develop these things, you can just check the link in the description. It'll pretty much just walk you through what it's like, working with us. By all means, you don't need to click it. But honestly, it's just for the people who want to accelerate their success. A lot of the people who they join, they're going to do well regardless, but they value speed, they value time. And what we do is we just, like I was saying, we just shrink the time it takes to get to the outcome. So instead of waiting, let's say 3 to 5 years to actually figure certain things out, whether it's in the business, whether it's personally, whether it's minds, whether it's operations, they can just get it in 30 to 60 days. So that's all for this video. I will talk to you in the next one.